Alright, so anytime there's an off the beaten track, weird ass fucking movie going for broke, I'm gonna fucking see it. I did that for Megalopolis last week, and I just did it for The Substance. I gotta tell you, that's one of the most inventive fucking horror movies I've seen in a long time. I fucking loved it. But again, I'm a fucking weirdo, okay? Basically, if you took Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, Dostoevsky's The Double, and The Picture of Dorian Gray, put it into a fucking blender, and then mixed it up with a body horror kind of movie, that's what this movie is. Demi Moore plays this actor named Elizabeth Sparkle. She's on her way out. Yeah, Sparkle. We start with a fucking image of her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame getting desecrated. This movie's a little blunt with its metaphors, but I was rolling with it. She's on her way out. She's turned into this kind of Jane Fonda workout type, right? She's been canned from that fucking job. She gets into a fucking auto accident on her birthday. And then some fucking creepy dude at the hospital says, hey, you may want to try this little thing called The Substance. It'll change your life. Oh, Elizabeth Sparkle is miserable as fuck. She decides to go ahead and inject herself with this fucking weird-ass treatment. And just like a fucking alien, this goddamn younger version of her explodes out of her fucking back. And the deal is this. You get to be young for 7 days, and then you have to go back to being old for 7 days. The other body is just sitting there with a fucking IV drip for food for 7 days. Margaret Qualley plays the younger version of her called Sue. Ends up taking her fucking job and becoming a huge sensation. But as you might have guessed, it's style over substance here. Sue does not want to go back to her older life. But you got the 7-day rule, right? Just like motherfucking Gremlins, she does go over the 7-day mark. And I'm not going to spoil it, but calamity fucking ensues. I thoroughly enjoyed this fucking movie. Like I said, I'm a fucking weirdo. The movie is grotesque, absurd, thoughtful, just played batshit. I know people are doing fucking TikToks bashing this fucking movie, saying it's gross. Yes, it is gross, but it's not like you're fucking watching a Pasolini movie here. Come on. This is fun, satirical body horror. Don't listen to the naysayers. You'll be able to fucking follow it. You'll be able to fucking roll with it. This movie does have a brain, but it is also a really dependable fucking horror flick. And kudos to fucking Demi Moore, who just really is courageous by taking on this role here. If, like me, you were disappointed by how unoriginal Megalopolis is, I think you'll enjoy this movie. This feels very much like a referendum on that disappointing cinematic experience, because I fucking love this movie. Oh, and I should also mention the fucking sound design on this movie, the way that it's shot, impeccable. There's a real claustrophobic feel as characters go right in front of your fucking... This movie is a visual experience that should be seen on the big screen. And I also like the way that injecting your motherfucking ass with the substance was kind of like a heroin experience. 3.5 stars on the Ed 4-star scale. Ed says check it out.